She lied on immigration forms. She appears to have married her own brother. And now the Trump administration is cracking down. And Representative Ilhan Omar, she now has very real reason to sweat getting deported for immigration fraud. This is Kyle Becker with Explain America. Before we get into this story, please like, comment, and share. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. President Donald Trump's Department of Justice is preparing to unleash a sweeping new campaign targeting foreign nationals who lied, defrauded, or committed crimes to obtain U.S. citizenship. And it's sending shockwaves through D.C. A newly circulated DOJ memo, issued by Assistant Attorney General Brett A. Shumate, instructs federal attorneys to, quote, prioritize and maximally pursue denaturalization proceedings, unquote, including against individuals who conceal gang ties, human rights abuses, financial crimes, or simply committed fraud in the naturalization process. That last category is key because according to overwhelming documentation, Representative Ilhan Omar, she checks all the boxes. For years, credible allegations have circulated that Ilhan Omar lied on her immigration documents, used a false name, and even married her own biological brother in an immigration fraud scheme to help him gain legal status in the United States.
So it's been known for quite a while that Ilhan Omar apparently married her own brother to help him gain entry illegally into the country. That's a violation of immigration law. That actually happened, it turns out. And now we're learning the FBI had evidence to confirm it, but didn't do anything about it. Miranda Devine is an actual journalist. She works at the New York Post, where she writes a column. She joins us tonight to explain what exactly happened. Miranda, thanks so much for coming on.
Pleasure, Tucker. Well, some basically Republican operatives up in Minnesota decided to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on private investigators to really find out if Ilhan Omar was a genetic match, the DNA match, to the man who was her second husband. They went to 3 continents. They found a cigarette butt and a drinking straw, which they sent it to a DNA laboratory and found conclusively that the DNA matched, that the second husband was a sibling, according to this DNA sample. So the very day that they were going to unleash this on the world, and in fact I was interviewing one of the people involved, the FBI swooped on the gentleman, Anton Lazaro, from this Republican PAC up in Minnesota, and arrested him on some different charges. Who knows whether he's guilty or not guilty. I mean, he's not guilty until proven, but he's in jail. And so his story never got to see the light of day. I mean, luckily he'd told the FBI they were not interested. They told him the statute of limitations had run out. We managed to see the website before he took it down, before he was arrested, and managed to report the story such as it was.
These claims have been backed up by archived school records, immigration timelines, and social media evidence, and were reportedly in the hands of the FBI as early as 2016. And yet, nothing happened. Now, under President Trump, that may change. The DOJ's Denaturalization memo states civil proceedings will be prioritized in cases involving fraud or misrepresentation during the naturalization process, gang membership, terrorism or espionage, human trafficking or sexual offenses, or any other material deception that enabled a person to unlawfully become a U.S. citizen. And here's the kicker. These are civil proceedings, meaning the burden of proof is lower, and there's no right to a court-appointed lawyer. If the government has the evidence, it can strip citizenship and initiate removal proceedings. The DOJ memo comes just weeks after a judge stripped citizenship from Elliot Duke, a convicted child predator and U.S. veteran who lied on his naturalization paperwork. If they could denaturalize him, well, Ilhan Omar may be next. And the Democrats are already panicking. Heritage Foundation's Hans von Spakovsky summed it up. Quote, I do not understand how anyone could possibly be opposed to the Justice Department taking such action to protect the nation from obvious predators, criminals, and terrorists, unquote. That's exactly what many Americans feel Ilhan Omar represents. a fraudster, a radical, and a sitting member of Congress who allegedly scammed the system and smeared the country that took her in.
In a dictatorship. And I don't even remember ever witnessing anything like that. To have a democracy, a beacon of hope for the world to now be turned into one of the worst countries where the military are in our streets without any regard for people's constitutional rights, while our president is spending millions of dollars propping himself up like a failed dictator with a military parade.
So, when does the hammer fall? That may depend on whether the FBI reopens its investigation and whether DOJ leaders act on it. But with Trump back in the White House and a DOJ on the offense, denaturalization just became very real. And Omar may have finally run out of time.